So here we are. Here we have another event. This is one of the main events that you can use to get new colonists. So transport pod crash. So what will occasionally happen is an architect named Leah is crashing in a transport pod nearby. If he survives the impact, he will be badly wounded. Leech is from your enemy, Bayonet Society. You can capture him for recruitment or slavery purposes. That's pretty fun. Slavery is pretty cool. You can sell people that you capture into slavery for a nice little fee. We're not actually going to get this guy right now because we don't have a place to store him. We don't have the resources to support him. We only have 6 meals left. We're going to be running low on food here, but let's go check it out anyway. Here's Leech. He just crashed. See, he's right over here. He's incapacitated. If you look at health, you can actually see all the shit that's wrong with him here. His pelvis is cracked. His spine has just a bad back, I guess. His left arm is bruised. So he's got a bruised arm and a cracked pelvis. He's not going to die, actually. If he was bleeding or if he was severely hurt and enough so that he would die, there would be a little message down here that would say, like, bleeding will die in 6 hours, or, you know, something like that. But he's not that badly hurt. But what we can do is click on him, take a look at his bio, and we can look at his stats. These are actually okay. You know, construction's good. He's kind, but he's also a misogynist. We have 2 women, so that is not going to go over well. He has a great memory, so he's not going to lose his skill. He's very artistic, which is good. I think we already have an artist. We already have a guy with high social. He's really only going to give us construction, and he can't do dumb labor. So he is not gonna be here. We could capture him if we had a room built up for it, but we're just going to ignore him. Over time, he'll probably get better, and he'll just leave on his own. We could actually go strip him of his clothes. Let's do that. We can just take his stuff. Oh, he's hurt. He's lying there wounded. He will get better on his own, though. So let's see what we got here. Oh, a wild woman wanders in. I don't think I've seen that one before. So he's got some devil strand pants. Deteriorating because I'm on a roof. Let's keep clothing here for now inside. Apparel. And weapons in this little box, because weapons and clothing deteriorate as well if left outdoors. So let's keep those inside for now. Devil strand pants. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that kind of material. Beauty's -3, so it can't be that good. Market value 225, that's pretty good. You can always sell shit. We'll get those pants. Want your pants, dude. More steel right here we can reclaim. Let's do that, we need it. Select this wall. Deconstruct. Alright, so they've built our power lines. We can actually put some lights in here now. Some real lights. We got the battery power for it. So let's go under furniture and standing lamp. This is the traditional lamp used to light rooms. Sun lamp, I believe it's for growing indoors. But we just need the standing lamp. And you can see the little cord that sticks out from the lamp attaches to our main power conduit. But there is a limit on the distance. So you can see I can make it all the way up to about here, and then that line goes away. So you want to space the lights out so you get a nice, good, even light in your place. So let's put one here. Let's put another one here, and another light here. That way we can take down our torch lamp. Another thing, our food is going to run out. We need food. We got berries. Let's see where our crops are at. 55% grown. Still got some time to grow the crops, so we will have to harvest some berries here. Let's start looking around. These are ready to harvest. 88%, 77%. Ready to harvest. You can do a similar thing with harvesting berries that you can do with wood. If you go to orders, harvest, and you just highlight a big section of the map, it'll only harvest the stuff that's ready to be harvested. So we can try that. It's hard to see the berries from this height. Let's just select this whole area. There's some in there. Let's look up here. This is wild heel root, which is nice to have. We can't grow this yet because our guys don't have the skill, but it does grow in the wild, although once you harvest it, it's gone for good. I don't believe it'll regrow itself. The berries, you can re-harvest them. They will regrow. Let's just make sure our stockpile in here can take medicine. It does do herbal medicine, so that's good. They will put that stuff inside so it doesn't deteriorate. Fire. Oh, we never looked at this. There's a person living among the wild animals has wandered into the area. She's called Kimmy. You can attempt to tame or arrest her. Here's Kimmy. She's a wild woman. She is buck-ass naked. No clothes, nothing. Bio, what does she got? She can shoot. And she's incredibly smart. She's a doctor. Do we want to tame the wild woman? I wonder what that does. It's like taming a wild animal. Does that mean she's going to be an animal? We want to arrest her? We need to build some more rooms. We need to build actual bedrooms. So there is a blowout here. An electrical fault in the electrical conduit has caused a short circuit. And when that happens, it'll start a little fire and drain all the power from your batteries. But because we have our guys set to firefight, they will come and put out the fire. We'll go outside and get that one. There we go. No big deal. That does happen quite a bit. Look, they built our lights, so we have actual light in here, but our batteries are drained, so stuff's going to start failing in that regard. Let's see. We need to build food. Let's go to production. We need an electrical stove. You could do a wood-fired stove initially if you want to, but we'll put the electrical stove here. And we also need a butcher table to butcher animal corpses because we are going to hunt. We'll put that here. What do we need for that? We need steel. We don't have enough steel. Here's some steel. They need to haul it. There we go. Our butcher table. Should probably hunt some animals. So, once our stove gets built here, we're going to go over bills. Bills are orders to do things at, like, crafting tables, stoves, tailoring benches, things like that. So, alright. Alright. Excellent bit rate. Maybe we'll play a little Overwatch for the last hour here. I want to see if there's a new season that started. I wonder if these berries are grown too. Also, something else to keep in mind, shadows will impact your solar panels and they will impact growth of your crops. So you want to make sure you're not building your growing spots or your solar panels near where shadows can appear, and over the course of a day they do change, so you want to be on the lookout for that. Sometimes I've built grow zones a little too close to the building and you'll have uneven growth and stuff will just take a lot longer to grow. These will probably take a while to regrow now, but this one's ready. This one's almost ready. What we're going to look at are bills here. So if you select something like a crafting table, or in this case our stove, there's this button here called bills. which is almost like a queue or a work, a work order of what you want the colonists to do with that thing. So at the stove, we're going to add Bill, and we want them to cook a simple meal. So there's different kinds of meals here, and the meals impact their moods. When you're first getting going, just a simple meal is fine. The higher level meals here, they give them a better mood boost, but they take more ingredients to make. So and right now we're a little short on food, so we're just going to do simple meals, which is fine. And once we've selected that, we can now change up how we want this work order to be built. So we can say specifically do a certain number of times, and we have the little plus or minus here. So if we were to say put it at 10, they're going to make 10 meals, and that's it. They won't make any more. Or we can say do until you have X, and they will keep making the meals until you have whatever number you set. If you say do forever, then they're always just going to be making meals at all times. So for meals, the one that I like to pick is do until you have X. And at least starting out, I like to put it at maybe 35 to start. As we get more people, we'll want to up this number. But for now, with just 3 guys, we want to have 35 meals on hand. And then if you go into details, it gives you more control over this meal, over this bill. You can say, I never want you to use meat when you're making these meals. I only want you to use like vegetables, so like corn, potatoes, and that kind of stuff. This can be useful, for example, if you want to make kibble for your animals to eat. Now, to make kibble, you need meat and a vegetable to make. But to make a simple meal, you don't need meat. You can just use a vegetable. So you might need to conserve your meat if you have a bunch of animals. If you're trying to farm a bunch of wolves to defend your base, you'll want to feed them kibble instead of your actual meals. If you just let your animals roam free, they will eat your actual meals. They will eat any food. So I think eventually we will make some kibble for our wolf, and we will keep that outside of our freezer, and we will limit his movement. I'm going to get into that in a second, but you can specify particular areas of your base where people are allowed to go and not go. So for this bill, we're just going to leave everything here at the default. What I want to do is, so right now, we have do until you have X. It's not suspended. I'm not seeing the... Okay, so here's the pause when satisfied. What we want to do is check this. So that means when it gets up to 35, he's going to stop doing it. If we leave it by default, we always want to have 35 on hand. If it goes down to 34, our guy's going to come make another meal until we have 35 again. We don't want him to have to be constantly running back to the stove to make a meal. We want him to be able to go do other stuff that he has on his work list. So what we're going to do is pause the bill when he hits 35, and then we will unpause that bill at 10. Actually, in this case, we could probably wait till 5 because we only have three people. So he's going to make meals until we have 35 meals, and then he's going to stop meal production, and then he'll resume that meal production once it gets down to 5 meals. So right now we only have 1 meal left. We are going to be hurting for food here. But this is okay. We do have time to make some meals here. So that's that. So right now we have a bill right here. We can click bills. We see we have 35 meals. It's going to pause at 35 and then resume when it gets down to 5. The other table, this butcher table, is used for butchering animals that you hunt. So, and for making kibble. So these are the 2 bills. So the first one I want to select is butcher creature, and I just want to have this one set to do forever. And the reason why I'm going to set it to do forever is because we're not always going to be hunting. We're not always going to have an animal corpse on hand. Which reminds me, I want to go into my cooler here, select storage, and then all the way down at the bottom for corpses, I can select animal corpses. So anytime we hunt something, they'll bring the carcass into our freezer where it'll stop rotting, and then our cook will turn that corpse into meat using the table here, and he will put the meat back in the freezer. So when it's set to do forever, anytime we get a corpse in here, he is going to butcher that corpse and give us meat. So to start out with, those are the 2 bills that I want. We don't have to get into kibble just yet. Oh, here's a lot of berries. Let's go to orders, harvest, let's see what we got here. Oh, they are all harvestable. Oh, not really. My mistake. We don't want to harvest that yet. Or that one. Or that one. That's weird. I wonder if that's a bug. With the wood, it will only harvest stuff that's fully grown. This stuff is not yet, though. That one is, that one is, that one is. So there's 3 more berries there we can get. Harvested some berries here and some there. I bet these, all the ones that got harvested, weren't ready to be harvested. Another thing we can do is hunt. So let's talk about hunting. Right now our hunter is Philly. It's his #1 priority. So if we select an animal to be hunted, he will go hunt it. He should, anyway. So let's see what's close enough to our base here. That's going to give us some good meat. Oh, we got more meals up here. Just chilling outside. Let's get those. Those must have dropped from the cargo ship. More plants up here. These are all ready to harvest. Get those. This one's ready. 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 Alright, lots of berries up there we can use. Let's see if there's any more meals lying around. No. And we have no steel. Here's a ship chunk piece. We can deconstruct and get steel from that. Additionally, there's a lot of steel here. They just haven't hauled it yet. But same deal, we got a steel floor. We can go floors, remove floor, select it all. Our guy Leech is still just lying out here on the ground. He is getting better though, his incapacitated meter, it's gonna, but he is very stressed right now. I don't blame him. I feel like he spent a couple days outside now. Oh my god. It says I have 2 viewers. Do I really have 2 viewers? Is there someone here? If you're here, post something in the chat, because I don't believe it. You're going to be my first viewer. I haven't had anybody yet. Doing a little beginner guide here for Rimworld. Looking to post the series on the YouTube channel when I'm finished. I think I have a few videos up there right now. Got 3 viewers. This is pretty cool. Make yourselves known. Nobody. Chickens. If you're sticking around, I'm going to be jumping over to Overwatch at about 2:30 Eastern Time. That's 45 minutes or so from now. Just putting together a little beginner's guide for Rimworld. It's my first series I'm doing. One of my first streams here. One of my favorite games of all time. Love the mechanics, love the roguelike nature of it, where dying is part of the game. Definitely part of the fun, for sure, for me. Hunting. That's where we were. We need to find something to hunt. Okay. Looks like these ibex rams. This is probably a good thing we can hunt here at first. So if you just select one of these animals and just select hunt, it'll usually give you an alert here saying that, oh, look, this guy has a 2% chance to attack when harmed from rifle range. The chance is higher if you're close with a less good hunter stealth. So there's a 2% chance this guy could not like taking shots to the face and will charge our hunter. Let's just get all 3 of these rams. So if we unpause, we should see our guy come over. Oh, there he is. He's already hunting. There you go. He's dead. Still got 2 more to get. He's going to drag our carcass in the freezer. And our cook should come butcher it. You can see our guy is making meals with the berries that we have. Brought in this dead, rotting snow hare. Not good to get a rotting animal, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. You don't want to cook a rotting animal. Actually, I don't think he will even cook it. Getting some meat. All right, our food is going okay. You can now see our simple meals are starting to go up. We have 4 total meals, so our food is looking good. One of the byproducts of butchering creatures is materials, so in this case we have some plain leather from our rams. We can also use this to build, to make clothing. See, we have another event here, another electrical conduit issue. It drained all our batteries. No fire, though, this time. But all of our power is dead because we are relying solely on the wind power here for power. Once our research is done, we'll get those solar panels up and running. I do appreciate the lone viewer who is still here. Most viewers I've had since I started doing this a few days ago. Looks like I had 3 at one point, but 1 guy left. I don't blame him. I probably wouldn't stick around either. These berries are ready to harvest.